Good evening, everybody. I'm joined here with the two finalists, Liam Dunster and Darren Appleton. Liam, to you first. You've just come through another tough match against Scott Gillespie. I mean, this is now your third final in this series. You must be absolutely over the moon.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. The first two finals didn't go to plan. Obviously lost them both. I've worked on a few things since then. It's mainly my stamina, to be honest. I was playing and I was just absolutely shattered, and then mistakes were creeping into my game. Yeah. So since then, I've been going to the gym and stuff and working on my stamina. So I feel a lot fitter than I was. Excellent.
And you're playing one of the legends of the game. Obviously, it won't be new to you. You've played many top-class professional players, but you know this guy's been there and won everything. Is that intimidating in any way?
I wouldn't say so, no. But it's nice to play someone that, when you're younger, you used to look up to them, watch YouTube videos of them and things like that, and now you're playing them.
Yeah,
it's good.
And for Darren, I mean, what more can we say that we haven't already said? I mean, it's just an incredible achievement for you to come back into the game from so many years away and weave your way into a final.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think going back to Liam's two finals he lost, I think the reason why he run out of stamina there is because it was when it was double elimination to the final 8.
Yes.
So there wasn't starting the final till midnight.
Yeah.
So I mean that's crazy, you know what I mean? But obviously Lee and the teams made it a better schedule, so that we're not killing ourselves really. I mean, it's tough, you know.
Yeah, they've changed the schedule since after the two finals, because it used to be 4 winners and 4 losers at qualified, but then they see how late it goes on.
Yeah.
They changed it so it's 8 winners and 8 losers.
Yeah, so I mean, it is probably feeling better because it's only 8:30, 9 p.m. where starting a final at 12 p.m. is very, very difficult. And so yeah, I mean, it should be a good final. I think we're both not shattered, so hopefully it's going to be a great final. And yeah, I'm just delighted to get there. I've never played Liam before. Obviously, I've heard of him the last couple of years, but first met him when he got to the final at Lee Kendall's event. Because obviously I've been away for like 12 years. So yeah, I mean, he's obviously one of the best players in the world. He's won a lot of tournaments, a lot of finals. So he's a grafter. He's a grinder. So you've got to win everything.
Yeah. For you personally, I mean, you've achieved so much in the game over 20 years at the top of the game, really. Yeah. If you won this, where would it rank in that list of titles?
Well, in English 8-ball, it'll be at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, this is the World Championship. In my opinion, this is the greatest field ever assembled. I think in an 8-ball event, it's the biggest prize money, the best format, the best races. I mean, the World Championships when I used to play, it used to be like races to 7, single elimination. It was brutal. So you need a lot of luck there, you know what I mean? Where this tournament, it's a proper format, and the guys who play the best and got the best stamina and the best mentality over that particular week, and just that little bit of luck at the right time are gonna come out on top. And you've seen it all series. I mean, Liam's been to 2 finals, Scott's won 2, Phil's won 2, Liam's here again. So I mean, there's only so much luck in the game. You know?
Yeah. I mean, from my perspective, for both of you, there's in your own way unique achievements. For you, Liam, to make 3 finals is just amazing, and for Darren to come back into the game. So it's a wonderful story already, and it's going to make for a great final. And all I have to say is you both fully deserve your places there, and I wish you the very best of luck.
Cheers, Nick.
And may the best man win.
Cheers.
Thank you. So we're going to hand over to Lee Kendall, who's out in the arena. We're just looking forward to a fantastic final, and I know these two guys are going to give it to you. I'm going to hand over to the commentary booth, and we'll be right back with you in just a few minutes. Enjoy.
Welcome to the final of the Supreme Pool Series. Quiet, gentlemen. Thank you. Welcome to the final of the Supreme Pool Series, the Home Ledger Direct final. We have 2 great players who have battled the way through to the final. The first man into the arena, making his 3rd final, which is some achievement, is Liam Dunster. The next man doesn't really need a big introduction because I think the name says it all, really. He's won world titles around the world, been playing American pool, Chinese pool, and for him to come back into our game is a privilege to all of us and to the viewers around the world and in the arena. It's a pleasure to have Darren Appleton in the final. Okay, the referee for the final is Viv Rusco, and our timekeeper is Sam Spratman. Good luck, gentlemen. See you after.
So a very good evening and a warm welcome to Newcastle under Lyme. The scene has been set, all the hard work has been done, all the roads led to Players Pool and Snooker Lounge in Newcastle under Lyme. 126 players have fallen, 2 remain to do battle. They draw swords, and Darren Appleton will strike the first blow. A brilliant break from Darren to open his account. Darren Appleton versus Liam Dunster. 2 worthy finals from either side of the border, either side of Hadrian's Wall. Liam Dunster hails from Scotland. Darren Appleton, the Yorkshireman. And what a final we have lined up for you, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know about you, but I'm like a excited schoolboy on Christmas Day, knowing my presents are at the foot of the bed. I've been looking forward to this final for a very, very long time. Sticky there from Darren. I don't think he planned to do that. I'm pretty sure he was looking at running that cue ball over a couple more inches and taking these 2 to the top left corner pocket. He should still be okay, but This has just added an element of difficulty to this clearance. And he will be desperately looking for a breaking dish to open his account. Now he will go back up table and try and clear these balls. He's going to take the one closest to the rail first. He's going to play a soft screw shot. He's just working out his route. The timekeeper will call 10 seconds imminently. And Darren Appleton will probably call extension, which he does. An early miss from Darren. And he slaps himself on the leg because he knows how important that was. And this all came from that, that one under-hit shot. Here's a chance for Liam. And both of these players are warriors. They're fighters. But most of all, they're winners. They know how to win. In the face of adversity, they will find a way. Darren Appleton has come through a really, really rough draw. He's had a really rough day. He must feel like he's been against the ropes. He's played a large number of frames today. You heard Liam Dunster say at the top of the show there that he's been working on his stamina, been going to the gym, working out in the gym. Just making sure he's generally fitter. It's something that so many pool players underestimate. That tiredness, it can cost you. And it shows his dedication. It shows his will to win. Now it's going to have to be a containing shot. He's going to leave Darren snookered on everything while trying to just promote that ball into a potable position, which is exactly what he has done. He's covered the path through. Now, in other forms of this game, Darren could probably just come off one cushion and roll it behind the red, but he needs to hit a rail. So he'll be playing an attacking option, and that will be frame over. It's going to be ball in hand. And you could hear a pin drop, despite the fact there's a good crowd watching on, very respectful. They know the importance of this. The first player to reach 11 frames will hold aloft the record amount of money ever won in a pool tournament, a cheque for £51,000. The black clearly passes the red, albeit he's just got half a pocket. It won't cause any drama. Plenty of room. And the first blood to Liam Dunster. Darren takes a sip of his tea. Everyone watching on, getting the best vantage point to watch this final, but absolute quiet around the arena. They understand the gravity of this situation, the importance of this game, this one single match of pool, which creates history in the game.
Second frame, Liam Dunster to break, leading 1 frame to 0. Time running.
That is a dry break. The second in the game.
Reds in play.
And already you could see Liam, the look of this disappointment on his face. He knows the importance of these early frames. It's only a race to 11. It seems like a long race, but these early frames are so important, where you're jostling for position. Oh dear, Darren. That was a terrible mistake. The ball just followed his natural path. That was a misjudgment by him. And to all the viewers, welcome. If you're only just joining us, where have you been all weekend? We have been in Newcastle under Lyme. Watching this final. All we ask for you guys is to like and share this stream. Already big numbers of people watching. We're streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. If you could like and share the stream so everybody is aware that this moment is being created. What a start this is for Liam Dunster. will be over the moon to have these chances in the early frames, especially after breaking dry and leaving a fairly open table. So you see that familiar, he dips his head to look at the shot, to look at the line of the ball, and then he moves in to the shot. This is atypical of Liam. Same routine every time, so consistent, and that's what gives him his consistency. Just using the same routine. He walks around, he looks at angles, he decides where he wants to be, where he wants to place the cue ball. He bends his neck to look into the shot. He walks into the shot and he executes. But didn't leave great position there, left himself on the top rail, left himself a long one that you would have expected him to get, but there's sure to be some early nerves. Again, the timekeeper calls 10 seconds. Darren calls for the extension. Darren deciding that there were no attacking options. The referee didn't call foul there. I think it's just so easy to forget, isn't it? Of course, Liam got out the snooker but didn't hit cushion, which Darren reminded Viv. And Viv will know these rules better than anybody. It is quite easy to forget. I have to say, the referees have been on point this weekend. They have done a fantastic job. Absolutely top draw, professional. And for you guys at home, I don't think you quite realise. I notice occasionally if one of the refs puts in a tiny little mistake, then you guys are all over it. But you got to remember, these referees are putting in 16-hour shifts every day. Yeah, they put in some long days, long days. They're here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and quite often, well, they have to be here until the last game at night. They're not getting away until midnight. and they have to focus all that time. When they're not focusing, they're walking around the arena, brushing the cloths, making the tables ready, moving the shark rack. They have put in some good shifts this weekend.
Frame number 3, Darren Appleton to break, 1 frame all. Time limit.
Darren will be over the moon to be 1 frame each. And absolutely amazing how many times a ball goes in that top left-hand bag. And he finds another one, and these reds, they look good. Having said that, yellows look pretty awesome too. Personal preference, I think. I actually think it'll probably be yellow. And if he wants to, he can either drop on the one along the top rail, or he can just screw back into it and just push it a little bit closer to that right-hand pocket. A little controlled screw shot. He decides he's just going to drop on it. Doesn't need to get it any closer to the pocket, simply because he's got another ball in that area that he can then use to go down table. See the table from above. Oh dear. He's okay, but that could have gone wrong, couldn't it? Tiny bit less pace, and he was sticking on the back of that yellow, the back of that red. Not sure he meant to come down that line. As it's come out, it's perfect. Who's your picks, guys? It's 1 frame each. Who do you fancy? Or who are you cheering on? Who's the popular winner? Are you in the Dunster Scotland camp? Or are you in the Appleton Yorkshire camp? Will it be the nostalgia? Or will it be the young pretender? Terry thinks Appleton, as does Steve. Stephen Poxton says Appleton 11-8. SMIR says Darren. Mick Tate says Appleton. Gareth Jones, he fancies Appleton. Denelius Appleton. John Rungan, Appleton. Nathan Glass thinks Dunster's going to win a Hill game. M thinks Dunster's going to win 11 frames to 8. Gareth Jones going for nostalgia. Andy Humphrey says Dazzler. So, don't forget, we are going to show some of your images from... we did it in Event 4 during the final, and we just asked a few people, whoever, to take a selfie of you watching at home. Make sure it's a clear picture. It doesn't have to be funny, but you know, if you can make it funny or unique, not rude, because we can't show that. Funny or unique, or but make sure it's a clear picture, or just a picture of you watching on your TV, a picture of you watching on your laptop, whatever it may be. How do you do the grand final? Send the picture into the Bid Productions Facebook page, into our inbox, and we'll try and get that on for you. We'll have a look at some on the conclusion of this frame. Liam breaks off. Whoa. It looked for a second that it was going to be dry. 2 balls dropped into the pocket exactly the same time. Viv just asking Liam just to give her a moment. Continuing with those scores, Paul Smith thinks Darren 11-6. Pierce Simon says Darren 11-7. Sean Noon Appleton 11-8. Andrew Bailey Dunster by 2. Luke Jewell 11-4 Appleton. Lel Peacey 11-5 Appleton. Jenno Vlogs 11-9 Appleton. And Kev Richardson 11-9 Appleton. So the opinion is split. It's edging towards Darren. Well, there's a big shout. Nick Harry thinks it's 11-1 to Appleton. Goodness. I think you'll get some long odds on that. Player of Liam's class. Across on Facebook, loads of predictions from you as well. Thanks for those, guys. Difficult to read them all out. There's so many. A little bit thin. Won't present a problem. Nails it. It's 3-1 now. Well, well, well. That's 3 on the bounce from Darren. He's got a 2-frame lead. It's early honours to him. Referee calls frame and sets about setting up the balls for the next. So as the referee sets up the balls for rack number 5, I'm joined in commentary by the main man, Mr. Lee Kendall. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, Nick.
How you doing?
Yeah, it's gone well.
It has gone
Pleased.
well.
It's been an excellent series, and I think the grand final has been the best so far.
Yeah. So for you, Lee, I mean, as I say, this has been a what do they say? Almost like having a young child, hasn't it? I mean, it's consumed so many of your hours and so much of your time, and giving you loads of heartache. I mean, it must feel like just having a newborn baby.
Yeah, it's been stressful. I can't deny that. It's been very stressful. I've tried to do the right things as I see them. I'm not going to please everybody all the time, but you can only do what you think's right.
But generally, you've enjoyed it?
Yeah, now we're at the grand final stage. I've enjoyed it because my concern all the way through was making sure that we got the money in, we paid out what we said we were going to pay out, and the players do the rest of the work. You know,
Yeah.
Watching the great players play is one of the reasons why we put it together. I mean, to get somebody like Darren Appleton back playing English 8-ball, and to think that he's in the final is a dream come true for most pool fans, because they probably never thought they'd see him again. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer at American pool. He's made his mark where other people didn't over there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And 2 fitting finalists, really.
Yeah, I mean, the last 16 lineup was phenomenal.
Yeah.
You will not see that lineup anywhere in the world.
They've both earned their place, haven't they?
Without a doubt. I mean, Darren has shown immense character from the match that he played against Mark Farnsworth. I watched the tail end of that match, and he should have won. He lost 11-10.
And you could tell he was absolutely gutted, wasn't he?
Yeah, it takes a big character to come back, and I think Darren said after that match he struggled, where he felt like he didn't have the match practice. Certainly at this game where it's a different cue and balls as used to. Well, yes, again, when we talk about the different cue ball, the cue ball is smaller English 8-ball, so you have to jack up over the red and dolly the yellow in. Well, that's a great shot.
He played that really well, hasn't he? Goodness.
Yeah,
He just looks at home out there.
Yeah, the black's not a gimme, but you'd expect him to make it.
And make it he does. And he now takes a 3-frame lead with no drama at all. 4 frames to 1.
I mean, when the series first started, and you call them like the American players, the actually British players, but the guys that went over to America and play, everybody questioned, and I questioned whether they could compete, and obviously he's a great at the game, and he can compete at any discipline, whether it be Chinese 8-ball, English 8-ball. He's probably a good snooker player as well. So, I mean, Darren's biggest attribute is his brain. He's very strong-minded. When he's under pressure, he can take that finish out. And I think the only reason why he felt the pressure against Mark Farnsworth was he's been out of the game for a little bit. Not only English pool, he hasn't been playing American pool because his mum's not very well.
Yeah.
So you know, all credit for him to come back and get to the final.
Yeah, yeah. So going back to the series, Lee, I mean, I think the big question on most people's lips that still remains unanswered is 2019. Are we going to do it all over again?
Well, if you'd asked me a month, probably 2-3 months ago, it was an absolute no. I'll be honest with you, I was out the door, and that's the reason why we went to 51,000, because it's just the stresses and the strains that people put on you, and you know, a lot of questions that you get. I think it was 35,000 at one point to the winner.
Yeah.
And I said to you, Nick, we've got a little group chat. All right, if we're going out, let's go out in style, and that's why we went to the 51, and we increased the Super 1000. So I think, you know, I'm in negotiations with sponsors, so I'm more positive about it, and I'm pretty sure that we will have a series next year, and you'll be back in the box.
Fantastic. That's great news to hear that. I mean, it's I know that it has been an absolute heartache to you, as well as you know, really rewarding. So I've certainly been geeing you on and encouraging you to run it again, and obviously over the moon as a pool fan to know that it will happen again. It's been, you know, the greatest thing to happen to pool pretty much ever. So
I think so. I mean, there are other associations that do good jobs, but they haven't got the same product that we've got. I think we've got something different, something unique. I mean, we've got now our own cloth that we're using. We use a Supreme pool table, which is the best table in the business without doubt. All the players play on it. You've got the best ball manufacturer, Strachan, the best cloth. So we're with the right people. So we're talking to the right people, and we're giving the conditions which I think pool players don't normally get.
Yeah.
You know, recovered tables, playing to like brand new every event. You play on certainly I play on the UK pool tour. You're not playing on new tables every time, new cloths.
Yeah.
So I think we set a benchmark for other people to follow, and I've noticed they've changed certain things, and that's only good for everybody.
Yeah. So let's just touch on the rules a second. I mean, obviously it was a concept that you've come up with your team. This particular rule set. It's a slight variation on a rule set that's been around for many, many years. What's the kind of theory behind the whole thing? Are you now trying to market to a much wider worldwide audience? Because these rules suddenly become attractive to Chinese players and American players, and if the money's right, who's to say they won't want to travel?
Well, they're very similar to the Chinese and the American rules. I mean, I played in America and I played in China, so I know their rules. So you pick the brains of other people that have done things, and you know, they do good work picking the rules. I mean, I think the rules I play are very complicated, and for the audience to actually tune in for the first time and watch, the world rules are very difficult to pick up.
Yeah.
And there's a few things in Black Ball which I personally don't like where you play the skill shot, and first of all it's a foul until you make the skill shot.
Yeah.
So that becomes like a foul, then becomes legal, and I don't really particularly think that sits well. But I think with this one, you're never playing a foul. If you retrain your brain from English pool, if you're playing Chinese or American, you wouldn't automatically think playing your ball onto your opponent's ball was a foul. You just think it was lost a turn.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just re-education, really.
Sure. And of course, these rules are the most played and the most watched in the world. I mean, there's thousands of pool players over in China. One of the most popular sports across. There are millions and millions of viewers, and the same in the States.
Yeah, well, they're not the same rules.
No, they're not the same, but
they are based. They're based on
Yeah.
what I've learned from playing those rules, and I think they are. I mean, some players think when you snookered, you should be able to call a total snooker, and then you know, if you hit your ball, you're fine. But I just didn't see the point of having the referee involved in a match where, you know, ideally you want as little impact from the referee and slowing it down. You don't want that.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I didn't have the total snooker in.
And ultimately, is it to make it more marketable?
Yeah, more user-friendly, easier for people to understand, whether you can come on and just watch it. If you hit your ball, it's legal. That's the way you have to explain to people. And it's quick. You can see these matches, they're flying through, and there's no tactical frames. I mean, that helps with the short rack, definitely. but the standard of player also helps that. But the rules, you know, I've always said whichever rules you play with top players, it doesn't matter. But these rules automatically speed the game up.
Yeah.
If you cover a pocket, it's no good to you.
Yeah.
You can't really defend that way.
Okay, so while we've been talking, Liam has broke dished, and it was a really nice clearance from him, and it's now 4 frames to 2.
Okay, we've had a question. Will the cloth be for sale? Yeah, I can unofficially announce it. Will be announced in January that the cloth is going to be called Strachan Superfine. It will be launched in January, and all the players have liked it. I haven't heard anybody say they dislike it. It plays to a very good pace.
Frame number 7.
I think they will be doing it in 2
Darren
colours,
Appleton to break,
the grey and the green,
leading 4
the
frames.
traditional green for those people who like green. I personally think this is the colour we should be playing on. It's different. It's unique to 8-ball that way.
Yeah, yeah. Gives the game an identity.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a mini snooker then. Or blue, where I feel that looks like a mini 9-ball.
Yeah.
So you've got your own colour. Well, back on the match, you've got Darren at 4-2. A good start for him.
Yeah, he's broke here, and they've opened nicely, but that yellow was tracking down right behind the white, and it's just sat in front of it.
Yeah, and these rules, it's the break is just to get yourself back to the table. There's no nomination required. So, and he has to hit the ball and pot that suit. So
Yeah, can't play a plant.
he can play a plant on his own on the
Oh,
colour
yeah,
he's hitting,
yeah,
but he
yeah.
can't play like an opposite plant. And he's left a real open table there. He's got a horrible first shot. I don't know whether he can play the plant up the top of the table. He's having a look. Maybe play the 3-ball plant. You can't play the push shot these rules, so he's going to have to dab his cue. Avoid the double hit. What is a rule for an impossible snooker? It's a re-rack, Kevin. It has to be totally surrounded.
Oh,
Some shots.
what a shot. Brilliant. So suddenly, from a position of not much hope, he's carved out a really great chance here. And if he can clear here and re-establish his 3-frame lead, it's going to give him a huge amount of confidence.
Yeah, I've just seen a message go from Daniel where it says, if we do another series, which he hopes that we do, would it be to Supreme Rules? Most definitely, yeah. I was a bit, you know, apprehensive, I think the word is, to whether people would
Oh, he's not reached.
Oh, that's a terrible mistake.
Wow.
I was a bit apprehensive whether people would get on board with the rule set, but everybody's liked them. And
Yeah.
I'm not just saying that. Everybody said these are the rules that we should play,
Yeah.
which is good, you know, because they're open, they're attacking, and there's nowhere to hide. If you miss your finish at these rules, you get punished.
Well, that is a cardinal sin there from Darren, not reaching and giving away the foul ball in hand. And this should be, well, it should be a pretty straightforward clearance here for Liam.
Yeah, and it was a big frame that, because I think 5-2, 3-frame lead keeps Darren in the comfort zone, but
Yeah.
Liam is going to be right on his tail now, 4-3, and you know, it was a big error of that.
Yeah, and Liam is more than capable of mounting comebacks. I mean, he was 6-2 down in the semi-final against Scott Gillespie and came back to win 11-7.
Yeah, he's tournament hard, which Darren isn't. So you know he'll be used to being all different positions. So
it was interesting. He was saying in his interview beforehand that he felt that he lost the previous finals due to stamina, and that's something he's been working on. He's been working out in the gym just to give him more strength and stamina. So it shows his dedication to the game and his will to improve.
Young Stephen Petty asking if his cloth's ready yet. Not yet. I will sort it out when I actually get time to have 2 minutes to myself, Mr. Petty.
Can you see a time, Lee, where you might want to compete in this yourself, or is it just too much of a task while you're trying to do all the organising as well?
I think it's too much of a task. I mean, I'd love to play if I could get somebody to do what I do, but I just know even then I'd be still looking at what they were doing. So
of course, yeah, you wouldn't better focus on.
No, because you want things to be a certain way, and I've not been a control freak or.
No, you're a perfectionist.
I've been called a Hitler and all sorts.
No,
it's just how I want it to be done, and hopefully people tune into what I want. You know,
there's nothing wrong with being a perfectionist. I mean, I think in some ways most of the people concerned here, I mean, certainly the guys with Beer Productions, they're perfectionists, and that's why we get the product that they deliver. And you're the same. You want everything to be right, and why not? Why shouldn't you? You're delivering the best product for the viewers and the best product for the players.
Yeah, and that's why when I spoke with Beard, there's certain things I wanted which they didn't have, and you know, I got again questioned about buying different machinery, technology to get where we need to be, and they're only using it for me. So I think, you know, it's only right that if I'm trying to push a certain way, that it has to be paid for somewhere. And, you know, they're on board just as much as me. They love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I was just saying beforehand, but I'll say it again. I mean, everyone that's been involved with it, the referees have been just fantastic. The streaming behind it, and all of your team, everyone that's supported, everyone that's helped. I think there's been a lot of effort and hard work.
It's not just me. I mean, Lee Grout does an awful lot of work for me when he should be working. You know, when he's picking the phone to or messaging him. Yourself, Nick.
Let's hope his boss isn't listening.
Hopefully not. I know. But, you know, Paul does a lot of work as well.
Yeah.
And I know George does a lot of work in the background, which isn't noticed, but he does do it.
Yeah.
And Michael Day, you know, the work he's done is, you know, fantastic for us.
It is. Yeah.
I'm sure Andy Sheldon and many others that have helped along the way. They're all very proud of what we put on.
And everyone's done their little bit, haven't they? Like Daz Sean has done the sweepstake and done the grabber group, which has just added that level of excitement. And we've got Rusty involved doing the Calcutta. Yeah. It's just layers of interest. And, you know, it's been the most talked about thing. And, you know, absolutely piles, in amongst the few detractors, absolute piles of positivity and piles of positive comments. And, you know, it is shown by the many hundreds of people, thousands of people that are watching right now, and the thousands that will watch it on YouTube in the future.
I feel sometimes, it doesn't always feel like that at the time, but if people are criticising, you're probably doing something right.
Yes.
You know, you will do things wrong, but I think sometimes it's good to be talked about than not talked about.
Yeah, this is the first year. I mean, the bottom line is, we as a group, as a community, we're always going to make a few mistakes, and we learn from those mistakes and we move on from them and we improve from them. It's human nature. That's what happens to all of us. I mean, we all do it. We start a new job, we make mistakes, and that's how we learn from them. We adapt, we evolve.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time that myself and the team of guys have done a series. We've done one-off events, and a doddle to a one-off event, to be honest, because you know where you are. But when you're dealing with sponsors and trying to set an image and dealing with people you've never dealt with before, you've got two different rule sets of players coming together, and they have egos, and rightly so, and they want certain things certain ways, and they might not like the way you do it, but all you ask for is just a bit of patience, and we'll try and give you what you want, but try something different sometimes.
Yeah. And just touching back on the game, of course, we've got this massive game in front of us. We mustn't forget that. Darren, having made that mistake in the last frame, with a gilt-edged opportunity to go to 5-2, and now it looks like he's going to be punished in the next frame as well. Sometimes, I mean, Gareth made the point on commentary yesterday, often when you make a mistake, it costs you 2 frames.
Well, it looks like it's going to there because, like I said, it was going to be 5-2 and kept the cushion. Then straight away, he's given ball in hand, lost the frame, and now Liam's back in clearing up, and you'd fully expect him to get the match level.
And from a momentum perspective,
it's not his best shot, though.
No, it's not. Yeah, but
got away with that one.
From the perspective of momentum and mindset, that one missed shot, the whole games can swing on that, can't they? I mean, now all the momentum's swinging back towards the right-hand side and to Liam, and you can almost feel that shift.
You just want to keep the pressure on, and Darren will know when he sees that he's let him back in the match.
Yeah.
Well, 5-2, he could have pushed on.
But of course, all the time, he's sat in his seat, he's ruining that, and he's thinking about that one shot, and he's watching Liam at the table thinking, I should be at the table, I should, I could have been there, I could have been 5-2, I could have had that cushion. And until he gets back to the table and wins another frame, he won't be able to get that negativity out of his mind.
No, but he's very experienced. He knows, not to let things bother him. And he's a few more matches in from when it did bother him against Mark, and I'm sure he'll be able to hang into the match and push on and ask Liam the question, just like Liam's now asking Darren the question.
And this is great from young Liam Dunster. Also recognise, guys, that you're joining us throughout the evening. Welcome. We're watching the grand final. We're watching the final of the grand final. And one of these two players will hold aloft a cheque for £51,000. Everything that's gone, 126 players have come and gone. And just these two remain. And all we ask from you guys at home is to like and share the stream.
So like we said, he's tied the match up at 4-all. Again, it's the race to 11.
I know there's lots of thought that still needs to go into next year, but have you got any thoughts in your mind over the price structure?
Yeah, I mean, it will be the same entry fee.
Yeah.
We'll pay down to 32 if we get the 128 runners, and we'll stagger the prize money further down. Still keep the good prizes. Probably be able to get to £7,000 the winner of each event, and I mean, we're going to put a jackpot at the end, but might structure it different to be more spread out rather than as wide as it was this time.
Yes, yeah.
It's very hard until you know the amount of entries you've got.
Yeah. And somebody asking what's the size of the table. It's 7 foot by 4 foot. It's a supreme winner, and If you're interested in buying one, you can buy one from our main sponsor for this event, which is Home Leisure Direct. While we're on the subject of sponsors, I'd just like to do a very, very big thank you to all of the sponsors that have been involved in this series. Without them, it wouldn't have been possible to bring it to you. To Jason Owen, to Jed Ronan and the Winning Post, to Aramith and Strachan, to K8.com, to Home Leisure Direct, and to Supreme.
Yeah, all major players within the industry, and it's good to work with them, and we've got a good rapport with them, so there's no doubt that they want to continue. It's just trying to get the right money in to try and get more prize money, really.
Yeah.
Reds in play.
So there were a couple of prizes up for grabs this weekend, generously donated by our sponsors. One of them was K8.com, and Jason Owen teamed up. If you open an account with K8.com, then you were in the hat with an opportunity to win a Jason Owen Q worth £500. There was another promotion this weekend. Supreme kindly donated a table. Supreme winner, as you see in front of you now. And we had a competition for that. The winner of that will be announced in the arena. But I think Lee's got the name of the winner of the Jason Owen Q.
Yeah, it's Natasha Foister. Congratulations. I'm sure you'll be happy with Jason Owen Q.
Yeah, fantastic. What a great prize. So, Natasha, congratulations on that. And we hope you enjoy. And that can only improve your game, using a great piece of equipment like that. So, Darren, he's got his work cut out here. Still very tricky. The red and yellow have tied themselves up on the left, and also the black's tied up. I think in the ideal world he would have probably tried to play the red off the yellow and try and release the black.
Well, I think under different sets of rules you would be looking to cover the pocket, but under these rules it's absolutely no use to you.
No, it's pointless. So he has to attack.
And that's a good part of it. You're forced to go, so
Yeah.
now he's going to go for the cannon next shot.
Yep. And he has to make sure he doesn't come up right up into the back of that yellow, because if he does, he could get stuck in there. Now the problem is with this cannon, he's got to cannon it into the back of the yellow, but
I think he needs to half ball the black. If he half
Yeah.
balls the black,
Yeah.
the black will release and the cue ball will get out as well.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I was going to say the
half
problem.
ball's quarter
The
ball.
problem with it, if he hits the yellow, then the black's only going to track towards the other yellow, and it's not going to come out.
He doesn't want to hit the yellow once.
Just like that.
Yeah, he didn't want to hit the
Yeah.
yellow.
So he still has attacking options, but this is now becoming much more difficult, and he has to try and get out from here. There's no defensive options. So, well, where do you go from here?
Right, Com Kings asked the question. I'm sorry, it's the first time I've seen it, so don't shoot me. How about some sort of qualifying? Well, we have had that concept this year. We've done like leagues within our area, and they've had qualifiers and pool clubs because you know, at £1,400 it isn't cheap to enter. But that being said, the rewards are very big, and there are different ways, like you say, running qualifiers and getting a sponsor to play against the best. You know, that you're not going to get any better learning place to learn than here. You're going to play the greats of the game. I think we had 9 world champions in the last 16.
I know.
You can't get that anywhere.
That was unbelievable. Yeah.
And if Carl Morris would have beat Ronan, we would have 10.
Yeah.
Played a good shot there, left himself a double. It's a big shot this is, because the lead slipped.
It's a massive shot. I fancy him to get it too.
We all know before anybody.
Yes.
And he's got it.
Yes, he has. That's a great shot from Darren. And he played it a great way as well, didn't he?
Yeah, because you're
Just
locked in
controlled.
behind the yellow, so even if it didn't go,
Yeah.
Liam would have been dead. But I mean, there's a few players in our game which are good at doubles. Adam Davies is certainly one of them, and Phil Harrison the other. But you see the 9-ball players with the diamond system, they know how to mark the way around the table. So certainly an advantage to know that system, which Darren will definitely know with his time in the Philippines.
Of course, yeah. And also, you know, there's games in the States like banks where you have to bank every single shot. And that does give them an advantage because they're obviously practicing banks. And there we go. Here we go with some of our pictures of you guys at home. And this is David. David's watching and enjoying the stream. And also David is watching with his baby girl. It's her first birthday today. Her name's Skylar. So we'll give Skylar a shout out as well. That's a great picture, David. Thanks very much. And there's Robin Cripps. He's looking for the stream, but he can't find it. He's got one eye looking at you and one eye looking for you. Goodness me, what a sight. And Simon Harsley watching on the laptop because the wife is watching I'm a Celebrity. Brilliant. You shouldn't have let them relegate you. Who's that on there? I really enjoyed the class streaming all weekend from Ben Wells. You recognise those two, Lee? Awesome. And look at that in the background. On the fishing bank, on the river bank, sorry, with 3 rods out, doing a bit of carp fishing. He's got his bite alarms on. What a way to set up for the weekend. That's brilliant, isn't it? A lovely bit of relaxing fishing, listening to the water go by, watching the pool. And there we go. Watching the pool by the pool. Andy Lakin, watching poolside from Louisiana. I am very envious. It's very cold over here. It's the middle of winter. It's the beginning of December. And there's Andy in lovely sunshine. Look at that. What a great picture. Get yourself down that slide, Andy. Brilliant pictures.
10,
Thanks so much for sending them in.
break, trailing 5 frames to 4. Time running.
That's fantastic. Liam with another very important break. He's gone dry. Nearly lost the white. Into the left-hand middle pocket. Just caught the knuckle. And just mentioning what I was talking about a second ago with Daz Sean running that sweepstake. He told me earlier that one person owns both of these players. So one of the people, there was 2 friends, bought 4 tickets between them, so he owns 2 tickets. And
He's a very lucky guy then.
And somehow, out of 128 players, he's picked out Darren Appleton and Liam Dunster. So for a 40 quid outlay, he's won £1,500.
Very nice, congratulations.
Amazing.
No pressure on him in the final then.
No. He must have been loving that semi-final. I think if I was him, I might have had a little bet with the bookie on the opposite two, just in case neither of these came in. And hopefully Jed Ronan's had a good weekend. I think he's on his way back up the motorway now. It's a great addition to the tournament, and we thank him for being the on-site bookmaker. I know it's at times not been easy for him, but he's stuck with it throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah, and he, to be fair, he actually loves his pool, so that sort of helps to get
Does
somebody
help,
like
yeah.
that on board. And you know, he's a lovely chap as well.
He really is. The Badger, as they call him.
Thumb from above. And Darren's got a tricky finish here. He's just got to work out the problem with the red and the yellow there. It's definitely not easy. I'm sure he's got a plan, but he needs to negotiate the cue ball in the right position to complete that plan. Is he screwing on off the cushion and breaking it open? No. Maybe it goes long. It looks like it goes long. He could be taking both yellows into the same pocket.
Yep.
He had a little bit of a sway on there. I think he thought he was near knuckle. But this is a big frame again. Massive frames in these finals, and like you say, one frame would be worth two. And I mean, Darren can just drop this in dead weight, and he's got the gap. Here you go. A nice Watford between the two reds.
Yep.
For a two-frame lead.
This is great from Darren. I mean, he had that opportunity to go 5-2 and spurned it. Liam came back at him at 4-all, but just showing his class when in the next two frames, not letting any of this get to him. And Darren Appleton really reeling back the years.
They say class is permanent, and he certainly has class.
Yeah, I did wonder whether I mean, he's a seasoned player. Will be used to putting in the long hours, but I did wonder. He's played a lot of frames today. He's played a lot of frames over the weekend actually, but a lot today. He started at 9 o'clock this morning, and Liam mentioned stamina, and I wondered if it might affect Darren. I mean, he's probably 18 years older, I think, than young Liam.
Yeah, but he's got a desire which not many pool players have got. You know, he might collapse out the arena when he's left every ounce on the table, but he knows how to win, and he's a winner, just the same as Liam. The two players that'll be fighting tooth and nail to get this title. And I mean, I heard Darren say that he valued this trophy, this tournament, to be worth more than any world title out there, which, coming from Darren, is a bold statement.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
Frame number 11.
So Darren to break in frame 11, as you heard the referee just say.
Looks like it's dry.
It is dry, yeah. When Darren's been flushing them really well, he often finds a ball in the top left corner bag, but nothing went that way this time. And a rueful look on his face.
Yeah, and he's left the yellows absolutely sitting.
Again, he knows the importance. I mean, such a massive frame. If he can find a ball there and dish 7-4 or 6-5 with Liam to break, You know, it's either a 3-frame advantage or Liam's back on serve.
Yeah, but
Huge.
the break is massive, and you need to make a ball, but you can't control that. You just hope you make a ball. You go through your routine as you do. You practice your break, but you can't guarantee a ball. He's just cutting those errors out that did cost him that frame when he was 5-2 or 4-3. Looking at the split here, you'd fancy Liam to take these out.
Yeah, it kind of lends itself to a natural path around the yellows. The yellow to top left and then play the plant into top right. So we'll take out these 4 balls at the top of the table now, and then work down the table, take the one over the middle, and then leave the one at the bottom of the table to get on the black into the middle.
A question from Rod on the prize money: is it 51 the win, and what about the runner-up? The way the tournament's actually advertised, it's 5,000 the winner, 3,000 runner-up, and then there's a rolling jackpot, which ended up at 46,000. So in effect, it's £51,000 to the winner, which is unheard of, really. I mean, there's been a 50,000 one-frame.
Yeah, there was a one-frame shootout, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was a bit of a gimmick. This is where the sport should be, where you're playing the best players over a distance, and whoever wins it will have earned it. Yeah,
yeah. It still amazes me to this day that there was. You know, the biggest prize ever to be given in this was a kind of novelty competition that started in pubs, where people paid a £5 to enter, and it was a one-frame shootout, and it was won by Frank. Surname escapes me for a second. I'll think of it in a second. Frank Sargent. There you go. Yeah, Frank Sargent, and who was unheard of in pool, pretty much, certainly at the top levels, and. He managed to get through and win the final and take away that £50,000 prize. So, yeah, this is the biggest in a competitive, proper competitive.
Well, it's the biggest in either. That was 50. This is 51.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
But you know, pool needs to try and get more tournaments where players can become more professional.
Yeah. Great shot there of the arrows, of the chevrons, and on Liam's cue you can see them. Pointing perfectly downwards towards the ball. Some players use them, some players don't. I personally prefer the flat of the cue in my fingers, and the chevrons are on the wrong side of the cue for me. But it's just a personal preference. But you can see the perfect line of arrows.
For me, with my cue action, the cues change. My grips changed on my cue, so it used to be flat, and now it's sort of twisted. So when I had my cue made by Tony Wilshaw, that's a great shot.
Very good shot.
I had the flat put in a different place to try and get the arrows right.
Yeah.
Where my cue I had before, I'd slowly changed my grip, so it turned away from the arrows.
Yeah. There is a cue which has got a double flat on it. There's a special name for it, and again the name escapes me, but I can't think of what it is. I saw one of the cue makers saying, I think it was Johnny Carr, XLQ, said that he wanted to put double flats on his cue and create this particular cue.
Well, there was one with a bias on it where it was weighted. I can't remember the name of that cue. I remember that one. I think Neil Rayburn used to play with one.
Yeah. Anywho, Liam taking advantage of Darren's dry break, punishing him to the max. And this was a nice clearance. He just probably ran out of position, but made a lovely recovery. A nice length of the table pot, and giving every shot an equal amount of respect. I said it earlier, Lee, that Liam, he addresses every shot in exactly the same way. He generally starts by walking around the table to look at the angles, and then he'll dip his head into the shot to look at it, standing pretty much straight onto the table with his legs together, and then he'll move into his shot.
Yeah, he's very methodical. He's
Yeah.
obviously had some sort of coaching, probably snooker coaching when he was younger, and he's trained to do a certain way and a
Yeah.
certain routine, and his mind's focused to do that every time.
And when you contrast that to a style that we saw earlier, someone like Craig Lakin, who's, you know, virtually running around the table when he's on form. I mean, he's just absolutely buzzing around the table and barely takes a feather. I mean, Chris Melling, when he's in the height of his game and his form, then he barely feathers the ball once.
Yeah, I mean, Craig plays on instinct. You know, he's
Yeah.
a natural player, so I think if he had to do the routine that Liam does, I don't think he'd be able to pot a ball. It would just do his head in.
Yeah.
He just likes to say what he sees. He gets down, plays it, and that's when he's on form, when he's on fire. You know, your frame's over within 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Well, we're halfway through. 6 frames to 5. Nothing between them.
Nothing at all.
This break is going to be massive.
Who do you fancy from here? Is it the experience of Appleton? Is it the energy and youth and the desire to not lose his third final?
I think it's just down to the break. I don't think you can pick a winner. You know, either could win it. There's different stories, and it would be nice to Liam to win it because he's got to 2 finals and he's got that losing feeling. So you want to get rid of that, just get the monkey off his back.
Yeah.
And then for Darren, you know, he's lost in a world final at 8 ball, and he's already said he perceives as to be as big as a world title. So he'll want this on his CV without a doubt.
Yeah. I'm guessing, given where those 2 reds are at the side rail, he probably prefer yellows here. I only say that because, well, he hasn't exactly got an easy opener.
I think he's getting reds.
Do you? I only said yellows because the yellow will go in off the red on the top cushion, and then everything is in the open. But it's just finding that opener.
Yeah, but I think he can play the plant on the 2 reds.
Yeah. It's pretty dead set plant.
10 seconds.
And reds it is.
And a good addition for the grand final is the shot clock.
Yeah.
Great work from the guys to add that to the production.
David Alsop asking an interesting question. He says he noticed that Liam is checking the rack, as pool players do. Has there been a situation in the tournament when a player has questioned the consistency of the shark rack? I mean, the shark rack is actually designed with, it's got tiny little cutouts all the way around, and it's been measured to the nth degree, so it's absolutely perfect. It holds those balls together. They actually have to be touching. They can't do anything else but touch. And I've never seen anybody actually. I mean, Liam just does that as a matter of habit, and Chris Melling's another one. Chris does it as a matter of habit, but I've never once seen them look at it and go, oh well, I think there's a.
It's pretty impossible. It can't happen.
Yeah.
So I think it is habit, like you say.
And Mark Dobson asks an interesting question, Lee. Is there a prize for finishing #1 as the #1 ranked player of this season, or is it maybe something you'd think about doing for next year?
No, because if you're #1, you've took the lion's share of the money anyway. So, you know, going to look to spread the money out a little bit more, because it is £1,400 to enter. We've, you know, if we get the same entry next year, we can spread it and still pay good prize money out. Lower the jackpot and spread the money more evenly. And I don't think that if people are picking up £7,000 or £10,000, £13,000 in events, I don't think they need to get anything extra.
No, I think, you know, someone like Scott Gillespie, for argument's sake. Oh my goodness me!
I think he said he had a kick, but he'll be sick.
Maybe we can take another look at that. No, we didn't catch that one.
Oh,
he will feel sick. Yeah, I think Scott Gillespie finished the #1 ranked player. Am I right in thinking that?
Well, we don't know. I mean, if Liam wins it, he's been to 2 finals. He could be close.
He could be close, yeah.
I haven't checked the rankings since we've been.
But if, for argument's sake, it is Scott, then he's taken a healthy portion of winners this year anyway, isn't he? And Phil also, you know, he's had a great year.
Well, as again, Liam is going to be close.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think they've earned enough money out the series, and that money could go better used. Yeah, what are those blacks like that? Turn matches, and we didn't get to see the replay, unfortunately, but I did see Darren say kick. It isn't a black you would expect him to miss, certainly. Ben says it was no kick.
Yeah. I'm going to take Darren's word for it rather than somebody watching it on the TV.
Yeah, we've got 3,100 viewers, nearly 3,200. I think if you put that into context, he had the Moscone Cup on. I think they were very similar viewing figures when I clicked on it anyway. So
that's across YouTube. I think we're also on Facebook. So
yeah, there'll be another 1,000 odd on there.
yeah.
So a couple of people saying it wasn't a kick, so maybe he's just missed it.
Maybe. Either way, it's kind of irrelevant whether he did or he didn't. It's Liam Dunster who's going to take advantage yet again of a Darren Appleton mistake, and instead of a position that Darren could have been thinking he would go 7-4 after that dry break of his, and now that missed black, there's going to be 6 frames apiece. There's absolutely nothing in it. Now it's just a race to 5.
Yes, 1,600 on the Facebook. A question from Daniel is, would you assume the prize money be a lot higher, not having to pay setup costs of arena, etc.? The answer to that is depends what sponsorships I get in, Daniel. I'm going to try my hardest to try and cover those costs and keep the players happy. It's not ideal to take costs out for things that we needed to do this year, but to get where we're at and to give you the production that we've got, I had to do it. So my intentions is to try and get as much sponsorship in and pay out as much as I possibly can, and if the players just bear with me, I'll do my best again.
Yeah, of course, the other thing that you could have done is held a competition and not paid for any coverage or any streaming or anything else, and then nobody would have been sat at home watching it. I mean, and then what's the point of that? So
I've seen some comments, and you have to take yourself away from it, and that's what I have done with a lot of it. And probably the stupidest thing somebody who said was, I can't believe he spent £2,000 on advertising. Well, if I don't advertise the sponsors, they don't give me the money. So all these boards, didn't come free. I had to buy them. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
the sponsors aren't going to
pump.
The sponsors aren't going to pump money into the series and then not get any coverage.
Exactly.
Frame number 13, Darren Appleton to break.
Now,
6 frames.
you feel that at 6 frames each, a race to 5. This break is of huge importance. He has to nail this. He cannot afford to go behind. He's dry.
Try again.
And this is the game punishing you for your mistakes. He missed that black. And now he's gone dry. And Liam comes to the table with a very, very good chance. And this will be the first time in the match that he's been ahead. If he can clear these.
A question from Adam asking who's won the free pool table. It will be announced after the final. We have a winner. It was drawn out by Jason Owen, one of the sponsors. Been one very happy person, male or female. I'm not going to divulge in case it rules half the people out. I think they've got a chance of winning.
Yeah. It's me, isn't it?
Well, I didn't like to say.
Lovely. I've got a space set aside for it. It'll look perfect there. It's a shame I was looking forward to announcing it, because whatever name you gave me, I was going to say, wow, it's me.
It might well be it.
It might be yet.
It could be you. It's a good shot. Very good shot.
Yeah, David just pointed out that Liam was 1-0 up. You're probably absolutely right. I normally keep notes actually, but I've lost my bit of paper, and I've been so involved talking to Lee that I don't have them by me. But regardless.
Question, will I be increasing the entry next year? No, won't it be the same? Or
Oh dear.
a poor shot?
Oh dear.
I fully expect him to make that because he knocks a really, probably a harder pot and down the other rail.
He's normally so good down the rails, and he knows it. I mean, he's just...
Well, I'm not sure if that red's come to hinder Darren into the pot in the yellow in the bottom right-hand corner. No, it hasn't, you can see there, so it's a good camera shot. So, they're not easy, but he's looking better than he did a few seconds ago.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and this is, I can't say it enough times, it's a massive frame.
10 seconds. Extension pull.
I'll be interested to see which way Darren goes about this finish here, because if he was to get on the yellow nearest the bottom left-hand corner and take it into the bottom right, it'd be clear to clear the other two off. So that's why he's not taking the middle now. He's going to take the two at the top and drop down off the other middle. But he's left himself horribly.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? It's hampered. It's
He might be forced to take the middle here.
yeah. Yeah, I just don't think he can compromise, can he? I mean, he can't get his hand. It's just awkward to put his hand down.
It's awkward to put, but don't risk the pot. If you take the one in the middle, you can still get back. This is the right way to go. That's it. Showing you where he wants to cue ball. Concentrate on getting the right angle. Then he's got a lot of space to play in, because he can run to the side rail near to where he's standing.
Yeah. He just can't finish straight. He needs to finish cushion side. Even on the top cushion would be fine.
That's absolutely
perfect. Yeah, couldn't have placed it better by hand.
He's showing you there. He's going to be going into the rail. Needs to come past the red, so don't go too narrow. Ideally, right in the middle of those two reds on the rail. That is absolutely plumb. Is he too odd?
Oh, he's running on.
Oh, it's too odd. It's careless.
Oh, frustration.
That is a flaw in Darren's game that comes out every now and again.
Yeah,
You know,
frustration.
well, he knows he's tied in a match here 6 apiece, and he should be, well, 2 or 3 frames clear, and he'll be frustrated with the careless mistakes he's making.
Isn't it amazing though? I spoke to Darren after his last match, and during that match he played a fantastic positional shot, and it wasn't too dissimilar from the one he's just played there. And I said to him, there was a point where you played a shot, and as soon as I said it, he recognised on his face what I was talking about, and I explained it to him, and he said, yeah. He said, and I knew. He said, it all changed for me on that one shot. He said, my whole mindset changed. I knew that I was going to win. I knew it just all clicked into place. Everything clicked in, and it's amazing how one shot can just change your mindset, and that one shot there may well change his mindset in totally the opposite direction.
Well, I think it's in the wrong direction at the moment, but more so for Liam. He's going to be thinking, I've got him at it here.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, for Darren, he just needs to refocus because, like I said before, he should be.
The problem is for Darren,
2 or 3 in front.
what he would normally do now is he would step out of the arena and go and have a bathroom break. But now he has to sit there for a few minutes and stew while he's drinking his tea, and he's just...
Well, he'd probably still go and have a bathroom
He probably
break
will,
after this frame.
but what I'm saying is, if that was at the end of the frame, he would have just walked away and he could have just regrouped.
Yeah.
Because he did the same thing in a previous match, and he managed to go away and regroup, and he came back and he played absolutely flawless. But just these couple of extra minutes of sitting there stewing on it might just add another level. I think he's sat there wishing he could get out of the arena. If he doesn't leave the arena, as soon as this black ball's potted, I will be amazed.
He'll certainly be frustrated.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. He should be 9-3 up, and he's going to be 7-6 down.
But some players would sit there and stew, wouldn't they? But I think Darren knows when it's time to regroup.
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out. We'll probably sit there in his seat and everyone will realise I'm talking absolute twaddle. Come on, Darren, get up and go. Brilliant. Excellent. He's not moving. For goodness sake, Darren, you let me down there.
I'll probably wait for Viv to rack the balls up and then go.
I think it would be better for him if he did. Like I say, if he remembers what happened earlier when he was a bit rattled and just went up. In fact, it was against Chris Melling. He put his coat on and just walked away, and came back a couple of minutes later and played brilliant. How easy is it to put those things behind you?
Very difficult. Your mind loses your matches without a doubt.
Yeah.
You know, one shot here, one shot there. It can just play so many tricks on you.
There's several things that will have annoyed him so far, isn't there? Because there's the opportunity to go 5-2, the dry break when he could have gone 7-4, and now that positional shot, which is now
miss black as well in the middle.
A miss black in the middle, of course.
Yeah.
And yeah, he'll feel that you know, if he'd taken his chances, he could be on the hill.
Well, yeah, I mean, Liam missed the ball down the rail, and that's when you should smell blood.
Yeah.
You think, he's missed. I've got to take that frame because that's going to hurt him. He's going to sit in his seat thinking, I should have that one.
Jotham just mentioned that there's 340 shares. I'd like to at least treble that, please. If everyone could just press the share button at the bottom of the screen. That's all we ask you to do. If you press on your screen, or if you have the chat box appeared, there's a big button next to the comments box which says share. All we ask you to do is click that button. In fact, I've just done it myself. It took me a couple of seconds. Just post it on your timeline. We want everyone to know that this event is ongoing. We want everyone to be watching. Don't let anybody miss out.
Good solid break there, made a couple of balls. And Look at that for a split. Our senior ref, Viv Roscoe. Her and the team have done a great job this weekend.
And Dan Perry saying, giving a shout out to Beard Productions, thanks very much. Thumbs up. Paul gave a big thumbs up, said thank you. And on that subject, very much overlooked is the hard work and efforts from Paul and George. I can tell you that they leave the West Country on a Wednesday and they go back the following Monday, and they put in 15, 16-hour days every single day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they've got to pack up on Monday and travel all the way back down again. And they bring you this absolutely flawless, incredible stream. I mean, I cannot believe, actually, how few, how smoothly this has gone over all 5 events. I mean, barely a problem, and it's down to their passion to be the best. And other streams are out there, but I honestly don't believe that any compare. That's my humble opinion, and I work with them, but certainly not part of the Beard Productions company, so I can say that from a distance. I mean, no one brings you these kind of shots. Has the kind of equipment that they have. Absolutely fantastic. And a new addition to the team this weekend has been Steve over on the camera. He's just done a brilliant job this weekend, so thanks to all the Beard team. Albeit that Steve doesn't have much of a beard, so he's going to have to sort that out.
Well, I think I'm going to leave you in a minute and get Gareth back in so I can get ready for the tail end proceedings.
And you saw the pictures there from George's camera. George and his new piece of equipment. That's George. And the shots that he's bringing you. And I'm sure in a second he'll give us a nice swoop in. There's Steve. Hello, Steve. Yeah, thanks for that, Lee. Much appreciated. Really great to speak to you, and great news for everybody, everyone watching, that the series is going to run again next year, and I'm sure everyone's looking forward to it. And thanks for bringing it to us.
Yeah, no problem.
All the hard work and effort that you put into it.
I mean, if anybody's interested in joining, the place you need to be is Players Pool Events Facebook page and group. All the information will be posted on there. You can drop me a message. We'll get the information out to you. I need to tie some sponsorship up first before I start announcing prize money and working out where we are again.
Yeah.
But when you see this, what we put on, I think it's been worth everything we've done, to be honest.
Definitely.
The blood, sweat and tears that's gone into it from everybody. And I mentioned the names that have helped. You know, Michael Day, I think he's sat at home working away and doing his little things. You know, Michael, we really appreciate everything you've done. I know you want a year off next year. I will be badgering you. We need your professionalism. Even if we are the only pool that you cover, we do need you, because we can't do it without you.
No.
If I've got to do it, you've got to do it, mate.
And for those of you who don't know, Mike Day, producer, he's got a website called the Q View. It's the Q View on Facebook, and he writes loads of articles. He's fantastic at what he does. So go give Mike a visit. All things Q Sport, Mike is the absolute oracle. And often when you see those Q View write-ups, they're Mike Day, all the way down there in Plymouth. What a great job he does. So thanks to Lee as he steps away from commentary for now. And as I say, let's get a couple of these shots. Come on, George. Where are you? Give us your full repertoire with that camera. Is George not out there? Oh, he is. There we go. And there's timekeeper Sam, referee Viv. And Darren's just stepped away for a quick break. And there's the view of this arena and all of the people watching. Players, spectators, all stayed behind for this late evening on Sunday. People have travelled from Ireland, from the northeast. So you see the poster in front of you, that is now closed. The draw is closed. The winner has been drawn, and they're going to announce it in the arena at the conclusion of the event. So stick around to find out whether you are the lucky winner of that table. Also, again, a shout out to the sponsors. You see their banners around the room. Darren comes back.
Frame number 15.
And he's ready to go. And this now a must-win frame. Lee Kendall has departed the commentary box. I'm joined once again by Gareth Potts. Hello Gareth, are you enjoying the final so far?
Hello everyone. Yeah, I think they've run out of people, so they've dragged me in again. But yeah, no, I think from what I've seen, I've not seen every frame, but I think that Darren will be disappointed that, well, I think he'll be very disappointed that he's 8-6 behind with the chances he's had. But Liam just doesn't know when he's beat, and he's got a great temperament. Whether he's sort of 10-0 down or 10-0 ahead, he's still does everything exactly the same pre-shot routine, and still takes the same care on every single shot. And you're right, this is a big frame. If Daz loses this frame, 9-6 is worrying times.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the way these reds are, I think within a few minutes it is going to be 9-6.
And it's the style that Liam's done it. I mean, in his semi-final against Scott Gillespie, he was 6-2 behind and came back. He won 9-1, you know, so 11-7 in total, but he won 9 frames to 1 of Scott's. And he's just spotted something on the table which the referee's going to remove, maybe a hair or a fly or something. But yeah, I mean, Darren, well, it's a case of missed chances, isn't it? He had a chance to go 5-2 ahead when he played a ball to middle bag and didn't reach, and gave ball in hand and gave that frame away. Then he had a dry break at 6-4 to go 7-4, and then of course a missed black. And all of a sudden those mistakes have all added up, and Liam is now on a finish to go 3 frames ahead. So, missed opportunities. But he still won't feel out of it. It's just whether he gets any chances. I mean, the next time he comes to the table, it could be 10-8. Sorry, it could be 10-6.
9-6.
No, when he next comes to the table.
Oh, when he next comes to the table, sorry.
Liam,
yeah, it's his
Liam's breaks
next,
yeah.
I've heard a lot of sort of people saying about how open the rules have played, how easy the tables have played, and how the pockets are playing so big, and because of this, you know, the new cloth, it slides in, everything's so easy. But one thing that is a statistical fact is that the same players keep getting to the latter stages of this tournament.
Yeah. Maybe they're the luckiest. Is that what it is?
I think what it'll be is the harder they practice, the luckier they get.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you guys at home, making the comments about how easy the table's playing and how big the pockets are, then you heard Lee Kendall. You can always enter next year.
Oh, just while you were saying that, Liam's played a slack shot here.
Yeah, he's got miles too much angle here.
He's got miles too much angle, and can he hold the cue ball?
And if he can't really go around the table either, can he?
And if he can't hold, if he can't hold the cue ball, how does he get around the table without hitting the yellow?
Yep. Oh. Needs to be mindful of the clock, I think.
I
used his extension.
I do think he took the wrong ball there with 2 balls go to left.
That's not going to reach.
Well, you know, what a huge mistake. What a huge mistake. But I do think he took, when he had 2 balls remaining, I think he took the wrong ball. I think he should have took this one into the corner. There you can see he just had, that's probably as much as you'll ever see from him.
Yep.
It was a little bit of a
little look to the heavens as if to
sort
say,
of
what
held
have I
his
done?
fate, and he's looking up there as if to say, that was very important.
The plan for Darren here?
10 seconds. Extension.
What are you thinking? Go for the clearance or try and go a bit more tactical? Use advantage of...
No, he won't be going for the clearance. He'll definitely be potting Liam's ball and hiding the cue ball somewhere.
Yeah. He's just working out how exactly he wants to do that. I mean, he's got the perfect ball with the yellow next to the red to be able to hide behind it if he can drop something down there.
He's having a free go at the skill shot, I think. Still has the option of obviously, well, he has 2 options. He can either play the snooker or he can play the yellow onto the red. But he's just see where he's just holding his tip there above the right-hand corner pocket. He's just looking at if he plays the plant or pots this one and then plays the plant. So he's looking at potting this.
Yeah. Well.
Good shot because he's, I think he's covered all the angles, and when I say I think he's covered all the angles is I don't think he can just hit below the middle knuckle with loads of left-hand side and get to the angle.
Yeah, that was my worry with the red ball being over the pocket. You know, wherever he leaves it on the table, it's almost a one-cushion escape, but it's not. With all those yellows down that left-hand side of the table. It's covered any path through to it, and even the two cushion escape's not on, is it? Yellows are in the way of that as well.
Yeah, he's made sure that he's sort of covered all the angles, and
Liam's already used his extension. He's going to have to play quickly. Yeah, Darren did play a great shot there, didn't he? I mean, there was just no real path through. And the pressure of the time counting down with just 1 second left, he could do no more.
Darren's just pointing his cue there in the middle of the top cushion, and the reason he's pointing his cue there is because he's going to play the plant. He's going to play yellow onto red, and he's going to screw the cue ball back to somewhere, and he's looking where he can screw the cue ball back to that it'll block the path for the black.
Yeah, and of course, not just block the path for the black, he needs to block the path to the bottom cushion as well, doesn't he? Because Liam could come off the bottom cushion and...
Well, he's got the snooker, but he has left the one cushion escape.
Yeah.
And you can see that Liam is looking at that there now. Where I think had he have played the plant and screwed the cue ball back, he would have blocked that one cushion with this yellow. But okay, you'd have to say it's an unbelievably tough shot to come off the top rail and drop this in the middle. But if the white was right behind this black, you could pot it, so it is possible.
He was hopeful there with that pace as well, wasn't he? Trying to hit it with that kind of pace. Even if he'd have got it towards the pocket, yeah, maybe would have spat. So now, a real chance for Darren. And a chance he certainly shouldn't have had. The last time he had a chance was when Liam missed a ball down the rail and Darren couldn't take advantage. This one is a must-win frame.
Good shot there from Darren. He played on this ball. He didn't over-hit that positional shot. For anyone that was thinking that he played on the one into the middle, he purposely played 3 rails to get back to this, because the one that's over the left middle, he wants to leave until last. He's left the perfect angle. Pot this, trace of right hand side. It's just to straighten the cue ball up off the side rail. And obviously you always pick a ball to play last where you don't have to do anything with the cue ball, and that's why he's obviously chose this, because he doesn't have to get in position. He basically just has to pot it and he'll be guaranteed to be dead straight on the black.
Oh,
wow,
yeah, me.
He actually moved on that. He moved his head.
You can see the people in the background with a similar reaction to ours. On another table, that wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, he sort of twitched that one in, but it went in. He actually sort of jumped up and moved his head before he sort of let go of the cue, and he almost pushed it to the near knuckle. But Liam will be very disappointed that he didn't win that frame there. And had he have won that frame, it would have meant that Darren would have had to beat him 5-1 from there. Liam's the only player that I've seen that is standing there. I presume he's standing there to check the rack, is he?
Yeah, yeah. He always does. I don't think he finds a problem with it too often, but it's just part of his routine, part of his habit. I'm quite familiar with his habit. He'll stand and watch the referee and move forward and look above the pack. The referee will hand him the ball. He'll go to the top right-hand corner of the table and place it, and then move it into the exact position he wants with his finger.
Frame number 16, Liam Dunster to break, leading 8 frames to 7.
He's breaking from the centre. Very often breaks from the left side as well. But,
and he
nails
absolutely flushed the front ball.
Nails it. Oh my goodness, that red
And
so close to flicking
no,
that
as-
yellow in.
Yeah, Nick, and as we've said every day almost that I've done this commentary with you, that you know when you make a mistake, it costs you the next frame as well.
Yep.
And I think this is going to cost him this frame as well.
It's almost the pool gods punishing him. Look at this red. It just comes up almost like just a hair between them. Any contact on that yellow and it drops. And he is presented with this great chance, but instead it's Darren Appleton who can now draw level if he can clear this table. Has to take yellows, doesn't he?
Yes, he has to take yellows, for sure. There's 3 bald heads there. Yeah, and the reason he's gone this way is he's going to leave the yellow over the top right corner as his last ball. And as I said before, if you can leave a ball where you don't have to do anything with the cue ball, you can almost just trickle it in and have a shot on the black. That's why he's decided.
So he needs to address the yellow nearest this rail.
Well, he's left the perfect angle, Nick, here to stun across and
Yeah.
land on it. Straight away he's attacking his problem ball. May have left an angle here where in potting this he may go close to the red, and obviously see why he's playing this with a tracer right hand side. Look where the tip's hitting the cue ball.
Yep.
And he played that to make sure he come inside the red.
Yeah. Yeah, without that side, as you say, he would have been in danger of snookering himself behind the red.
But what he has grown into in this tournament is understanding the physics of the cue ball and knowing that he had to play that with side. I commentated on his first match, and I can guarantee you the first match he played in this tournament, he wouldn't have really had a clue where that was going. He'd have just been happy to sort of pot the ball because playing it with any side was, well, he's potted that thick, and in potting it thick, it's held the cue ball up. I think he can swerve it, but he's got to make sure he gets a lot of swerve on, otherwise the cue ball might follow the yellow in.
Well, this should have been straightforward.
If the cue ball's another half an inch to the right hand side, it would have been straightforward, and you can see he's having to dig down and swerve it. And you see he made sure...
Great shot.
Yeah, and he made sure that he swerved it too much, which means that he didn't hit it full in its face.
And the spin on the ball killed the cue ball dead off the top rail.
Oh my God, he's never, ever, ever missed that again.
That's 2. That is quite unbelievable. Don't know what to say about that.
I think I'm better off not saying anything, as there's nothing good to say about that. No, it definitely wasn't a kick. He missed it thin. He didn't get a kick. And you know, before Nick, I said the yellow that he missed, he almost missed into the middle of the frame before when he lifted his head up and put a bit of a quick one in and almost lifted his head up before he delivered the cue. I think he did the same thing again now on the black, and this time he didn't get away with it.
Would the other black that he missed into the same pocket have played on his mind there when he was down on the shot?
I don't think so. I think it's just a case of he's got into this sort of habit of, and it's only obviously come from being under pressure, of lifting his head up before he's delivered the cue. And he did it on the yellow, but got away with it the frame before, and he did it there and didn't get away with it. So Liam, having thrown the frame away before, will obviously be over the moon to have this chance, because he would have been sitting in his seat thinking it's 8 each. And you know, we spoke before about when you have an easy finish, or you have a finish that you should get, you psychologically give yourself the frame, you almost chalk it up on the scoreboard for yourself.
Yeah.
And Appleton would have definitely chalked that one up on the scoreboard.
Yep. In his mind, it would have been all square. But he's climbing up the hill again, because he's going to be 9-7 behind, and it's Liam's break.
A distinctive feature of Liam's game, or his technique, is that his cue is a long way away from his chest.
Yeah.
Almost 9-ball-esque, if we can get a view of it, that most players hold the cue tight to the chest and lock it into position and use the chest as a guide. Liam doesn't. He has it away from the chest, and it is quite a long way away. You can see there. The cue is probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches, maybe a bit further away from his body. Maybe we might get a chance to see it more if we see it from the other side. And what that means is his cue is almost suspended in midair. There, look, you can see that it isn't on his chest. And he doesn't use his chest as a guide, and there isn't many players that do that. But listen, it works for Liam Dunster, trust me.
So I mentioned that it's Liam's break next, but it's of course not. It's Darren's break. So Darren will have a chance to get back within 1.
You know, there's a lot of people on the live chat saying about how big the pockets are, and you know, listen, it's easy to say that from sitting behind your computer or your phone watching this. You know, you're out there and there's a huge amount of money at stake, and there's a big title at stake, and it isn't as easy as it looks. I understand that there have been some easy balls missed. I'm not trying to cover up for that, but look, it isn't as easy as it looks, and I'm sure everyone that's played any type of 8-ball will understand when you're out there in the heat of battle, it isn't quite as easy as it seems. Excuse me. So a question's come in. Does Gareth think it's harder to sight the stripe black? That's a really good question, and the answer to that is yes, when the white part of the black is facing to the point that you're striking. So if you're cutting the black, for example, and the white edge of the black, because obviously it isn't really a black ball anymore, is it? It's a white ball with a black stripe through the middle. So when the white part of the black is on the edge and you're almost, well, you're hitting white ball onto white ball, I agree that it isn't as easy to sight the potting angle. So he will go yellows. he's got a little bit of a... He's got a bit of a shot to play here first. He can't play red onto yellow first shot. So he has to play the yellow into the middle, and he'll probably dig down and play a little soft screw shot into those two yellows. Even though they are a plant, I think he'll probably play the screw shot into them. And it's all just started to go a little bit west for Darren here, because you have to say he's been unlucky there, because he's obviously played to hit the rail first and cannon the yellow. Yes, he didn't play to cannon it like that, but for the yellow to go there where it doesn't pot anywhere, and for the cue ball to finish in the jaws of the pocket is unlucky. So just played a almost open attacking fudge stroke safety shot and just bumped his ball out, left Liam bridging over the red.
Could hear a pin drop.
Yeah, and I personally love that atmosphere when it's like that. There's that sort of silence, but you know that everyone's eyes are sort of focused on what's happening.
Yeah, everyone's zoned in.
Good shot from Liam. The two yellows, the two reds that are around this right corner pocket, the bottom one obviously does pot, and he'd like to be on it in a way where he can just play it off the yellow so the other one pots, and that's why he's taking this one first. And also, the advantage of taking it off the yellow means that if he moves it away from the pocket, not only does the red go, but the black also then goes into this pocket as well.
Pre-shot routine, the same in every time. Checking where he wants to be. He'll take this because this passes through the gap of the two yellows. Yeah. I think they both do, don't they? The red does, and I think the black does as well.
Well, the black's tight, but as long as he gets onto the red in a certain way, it won't matter that the black does or doesn't, because he can take it into the right middle.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that either. He's pushed it to the rail, that it now goes past the yellow inside.
Played it at the perfect weight, half an inch less, and that wouldn't have dropped. Barely fell across the line. Wow, he stayed down on that. He stayed down on it for a reason, because it just kept on rumbling.
Well, I mean, look, I'm all for getting close to the black, because you don't want to have to pot it at distance, but you have to at least give yourself a shot.
But again, I mean, yes, you want to get closer to it, but it's like we said the other day, it's about keeping things simple, taking your medicine sometimes. If he'd have been 3 foot up the table, he's getting this 99 times out of 100.
Yeah, and you just have to give yourself a shot, especially when he's got 2 yellows close to the pocket as well.
Can he still snick it?
Yeah, he can, but it's thin, and obviously the cue ball is pinging across the table. Yeah, and a good point was made that this is the white part of the black. That's a really good.
My
Oh
goodness.
wow. Oh.
Wow.
Oh, that's an unbelievably bad error.
It was amazing. It looked like it was going to drop the black in for a second, but the black just bounced off the knuckle and made a path for the cue ball.
Yeah, and you know, Nick, there was a point made about by someone on the chat about Darren obviously missing the easy black into the middle, and they said, is it a disadvantage when you're basically playing the stripe, which is effectively now what is the 8 ball? So yeah, the 8 ball is now basically a white ball with a black stripe through it. So there's obviously 2 white edges. As it happened there was a white edge sticking out for Liam, so he was hitting white onto white, and it is harder to see the potting angle when you're hitting white onto white, just like the American pool balls and the Chinese pool balls. The stripes has obviously got the white bit. It is harder to see the potting angle sometimes when you're hitting the same colour onto the same colour. What Liam could have done, which is obviously more than within the rules, is got the black ball cleaned. So if you get the black cleaned, it then goes back, and if the black side is there.
Yeah.
For example, when you play the shootout in China, the refs always make sure on the shootout shot that the black edges are on the edge rather than the white.
Yeah.
Well, he definitely didn't play it inside there like that, but he'll take it.
Oh, he's hit the knuckle again there. Come off that near knuckle.
Well, he hit both knuckles and came inside the middle.
Wow. Well, there's. It would be boring, wouldn't it, if it was break dish. As much as we like to see that, we love to see miss balls too, because it adds to the tension and the drama. And there's been plenty of tension and drama in this so far, and you just feel that there's still a twist in the tail.
Oh yeah, we want to see him twitching all over the place towards the end. That's what we want.
Yeah.
But look, you know, these lads have obviously been playing for three days solid. They've played a lot of matches, and I'm not saying that's the reason why perhaps the standard in this final hasn't been quite as high as some of the matches and what you would expect, but I don't know what Viv is talking to Liam about there, but there's an issue about something.
Yeah. So if you could please, and this game is quickly drawing to a conclusion, please like and share this stream, and also subscribe to our YouTube page. While you're about it, search out Players Pool Events and Beard Productions on Facebook and give us a like. Certainly with the Beard Production ones you'll get notifications of when we go live, and the Players Pool Events you'll keep up to date with all of the news about the 2019 series that Lee Kendall has announced that he will be doing next year. So there we go.
Frame number 18.
Liam spotted something. But
That was last ball rolling, or certainly last ball kicked. Dunster, I think, is a player that is sort of unspoken about Nick during this sort of series, and look, he's been to 2 finals and sort of slips under the radar, as we were talking about earlier. Perhaps it's styles that make players more spoken about than others and make them more valuable in Calcuttas and make them shorter prices in bookmakers' eyes, but he is someone that does slip under the radar. And if you were going to back somebody with your life, then there wouldn't be maybe too many people at the minute you would choose in front of Liam, because you know exactly what you're getting. Yeah. He's not going to give it. He's not going to give in if he's 10-0 down. He does exactly the same thing every single shot. His temperament's unbelievable.
I would doubt he doesn't have a concession in him. He would never concede a frame. I don't think he'd give you an inch, even if you had a ball sat over the pocket and you missed.
I know, imagine playing him at match play golf. I don't think he'd be giving you if it was dripping over the hole.
No, and you know, the thing with Darren earlier when he snookered himself and lashed the ball and it went off the table, you just would never see that from Liam. Just the consummate professional.
No, and that's what I mean. You know, if you're there's obviously a lot of betting involved now in pool, and there is in every sport. And when you put your money on somebody, you like to know that you're getting value for your money.
Yeah. And
certainly with Liam, you're getting value for your money, because you know what you get. You know he's going to give every single match 1,000%.
Paul Goddard is asking,
and he's a fit guy. Sorry, Nick.
Okay,
he's a fit guy as well. You know, you can see he obviously works out. I think he's some sort of martial art expert as well. I think he's black belt in something. So
origami, I think, isn't it? Black belt in origami, yeah.
So yeah.
Paul got that one. No, I was just about to say that Paul Goddard's asked if he's an occasional player and he has difficulty getting the balls to freeze when he racks up. Is there? There's always some balls that are apart. No matter how hard he tries, is there any advice? Well, you could try the piece of apparatus that they're using on here, and one of the sponsors is Shark Rack, which is a piece of equipment that's been developed. It's something they use in America and China, and something we've adopted into this series. It's a template that sits on the table that the balls sit on, and it keeps them all touching and all together. You could give one of those a go. You can buy one from, I think, from eBay. The manufacturer of them will be glad to have you on board.
Big shot, this. This is a big shot. And what happened there was he potted it into the right side of the pocket, which meant that the cue ball is now on the side cushion. Obviously, when you pot a ball into the wrong side of the pocket like he did there, it lessened the angle, which means that now the cue ball is... Oh, it's... I still expect him to get it, but it's missable. Good shot. Very good shot. That was right in the middle of the pocket. And you noticed he stayed absolutely dead still on that. Nothing moved. Easy to almost do what Darren's been doing a little bit. And almost what happens when you lift your head up is you're almost looking if it's in the pocket before you've let go of the cue. And there was none of that there. Everything was absolutely dead still.
Liam Dunster goes onto the hill. He's now 1 frame away. It's going to be Darren Appleton's break.
Yeah, before, you know, I was saying, well, he's just nipped out to the loo. Obviously, Liam looks like he looks after himself. He looks like he's a fit guy, and that definitely does help, Nick, when you're playing tournaments like this, especially coming from the loser's side, where you can potentially have to play sort of 6 or 7 matches on the trot through the loser's side.
Yeah, yeah.
It definitely helps being physically fit, which then definitely means that you're perhaps a little bit sort of more mentally fit and mentally sharp.
Well, Gareth, during the pre-match interview, Liam did say that he felt that one of the reasons that he'd lost the first 2 was because of his stamina. He just felt like he crashed in the final, and he made a lot of mistakes. And he said that he's been working out, doing a lot of gym work to try and improve on that and putting that time in. And I think it's fair to say, if you look back across the 5 series, and this is not to disrespect anybody, but in the last 4, consistently throughout every event, none of the bigger lads have made it there, have they? It's always been the fitter guys who have made it through this field, and it's tough. It's tough mentally and physically. I
absolutely agree. You know, there is obviously some of the lads that are bigger pool players, and when you're playing for 3 and 4 days of 10, 12 hours a day, match after match, and those matches are going close, then I do think it's important to be physically fit. And if Liam has said that and then gone away and worked on it even more, then just all credit to him for that, because he's sort of saying, well, I can find that extra few percent. He's realised that there was an issue and he felt fatigued. So he's gone away and worked on that extra few percent, and that extra few percent for him was going to the gym and getting fit. Massive hats off and respect to him for doing that. And look, he's 1 frame away from all of that hard work being worth it.
Frame number 19. Darren Appleton to break.
So Darren's called for his extension. All he can do now is win this frame and hope for mistakes from Liam. He has to put the pressure on. He has to start mounting it on Liam's shoulders in the hope that he can draw a mistake from him.
That is a plant there, as you can see, into that top left corner. So, as long as he can get... Well, I thought it was. Maybe it's just offset, but I'm sure he could have made it because there's a gap between the yellows. I think he should have played the plant.
Is it dead set to bottom right corner? It's not dead set to top left, but find out now. No, he's going to spin down. Work these out well. Just looking at where he wants to be. Needs to be careful, doesn't want to be hampered.
Yeah, doesn't want to be hampered, and he's now this side of it, which means, well, it means that he's going to have to take the black back down the rail. I think he tried to bump the red out of the way so he had an option to play the double. He's now looking if he's bumped it out of the way far enough to play the double, and I think he has, but it is tight. I would just be stunning across the face of the yellow, the red here, and playing it down the cushion. A little bit of right hand side. Well played.
Perfect. Yes. Nice goes from Darren. And that's all he could do. Mount that pressure back on to Liam Dunster's shoulders. Throw down the gauntlet and say, go on then. You need to break and dish, because if you don't, I'm there. But Darren knows it's now out of his hands. If Liam can get one favourable break and clear the table, he will lift the trophy. It's all in his hands now. How will those shoulders bear the load?
Will he make a ball?
Yeah.
He'll have never hit a more important break in his life than this one.
Absolutely not. Making sure everything is as it should be. He's going to place that cue ball just a
Frame number 20.
quarter of an inch to the right of the centre line.
Time running.
He's been flushing this front ball.
Yeah.
He's been hitting it clean and straight, and he needs another one of those here. But more importantly, he needs a ball, and he's not got one. Oh, he has got one. Oh,
wow.
Oh dear, look at the yellows. So,
just for a split second, it looked like he was going to go dry.
So now this is Liam's chance. And that's all you can ask for, is a chance. And Daz has just put his cue away there. Well, not put it away, but he's put it over to the side. In this situation, he just sort of half side his head as if to say,
yeah,
I don't think I'm going to get another chance.
No. He is praying for some kind of kick, some kind of mistake, anything, any chance to come back to the table.
Good shot. This is over. He's got a big pocket into the top right corner for the outside yellow. He's just bumped the red away, so the yellow now pots into the right corner.
Jason Owen in the background, straining to see the lay of the land.
Liam is one of those guys that you can tell, Nick, that works hard, obviously, on the table. You can see that he puts the hours in, and for me, anyone that works hard and puts the hours in deserves to win.
Now he just needs to trust that training, his fundamentals, all of those hours he spent on the practice table, the drills, trust his muscle memory. And he puts in those hours to make sure that he doesn't twitch or tweak.
Whatever the reason, he felt that he'd lost before in those finals, and he's gone away and worked on it and put it right, and he's definitely going to put that right here, because he's 4 balls away from winning the biggest tournament in English 8-ball history with the biggest prize. Couldn't do much more there than to just stun that in, so he's just basically saying, I'm just going to drop this one into the middle and take my medicine, pop the one into the right corner, hold the cue ball onto the red. Doesn't matter if the red goes in. So, barring a kick, he's never, ever, ever going to miss this. It just doesn't look like missing it. The cue ball will automatically be dead straight on the black, so he just has to concentrate on the pot.
And you see him duck down to look at the line, steps into a shot, one of the biggest shots he's ever played. He nails it. He leaves this simple black into the middle. He will still go through the same routine. He ducks down into the shot, and this black to lift the title. And there it is. We can put the demons behind him from those 2 lost finals. And it's Liam Dunster who will lift that trophy you see in the background. He will be given a cheque for £51,000, and all credit to the young man. What an amazing performance. Hats off to Darren Appleton. massive credit to him. He's come through, come back into the game, and that was an incredible performance. Thanks very much, Gareth, for your insight into the game this weekend and sharing the commentary box with me. It really has been a pleasure.
Thank you very much too.
We're going to hand across now. Lee Kendall, as you can see, is in the arena. He's going to have a few words.
Okay, another great final that we've had. 20 frames of pool. High standard again from two great players. First of all, I'd like you to put your hands together for Darren Appleton for a great final. Okay, the next man, it's his third final. This time he's going out with a smile on his face. He's won the big one, £51,000, and the title of Home Leisure Direct Champion of the Supreme Pool Series. I'd like to invite the sponsors on. First of all, from Home Leisure Direct, Ben Flack, known on the pool circuit as well. And our title sponsor, Laura Martin from Supreme Pool. Okay, to our champion of 2018 of the Supreme Pool Series, Home Leisure Direct, Liam Dunster. Liam takes away £51,000, the highest prize ever in UK pool. Okay. Yeah. If you want to come forward, yeah, both of you come forward. We won't go too far into the interviews now. We'll get the photographs done. We will go into the other room and do some interview with the champion, and hopefully Darren will come in as well.
I feel sorry for the person who's going to have to hoover that up tomorrow morning. We're going to be with the players in just a couple of moments for the interviews. Again, a massive thank you to everyone that's been involved in this. It really has been special. As the confetti continues to come, it's piling up around him. Goodness me, what a scene. Amazing. Hats off to Liam Dunster. He must feel on top of the world. Will there be a happier man in pool tonight?
Congratulations, Liam. I'm pleased that I'm not the one in the morning cleaning up. Okay. Right, I don't know if you heard that, but I'm glad I'm not the one in the morning cleaning up. Sorry, Howard and Speed. But I think it added a little bit difference to the final. I'd like to say a few thank yous before we go. First of all, to the people that have stayed and made, you know, you've enjoyed the final, but I'd like to say thanks for staying and making the final what it is. So thank you. You've travelled a long way. Thank you very much. Now, when we put the series together, I spent a lot of time with a young lady on my left-hand side. We worked hard on the rules, and she's put a team together. We've had different referees. All your team have ever been brilliant. Thank you very much for all your hard work. It's been much appreciated. Next, I'd like to thank Beard Productions for their hard work throughout the year. We spend hours on the phone and we work hard together. They're a good team. I think they're one of the best in the business. Well, they are the best in the business, in my opinion. My bar staff have worked hard all weekend. I feel you've had a friendly service and they've served you well. So thanks to them. All the players, mostly, who have spent a lot of money to make the success the series it is. Michael Day from QView, his excellent write-ups, and also Andy Sheldon in the background. That's the backroom staff, really, and the players. but we all need sponsors, and without people like Home Leisure Direct, Supreme Pool, Strachan, Aramith, K8.com, Jason Owen, who is here. Thanks, Jason, for coming and your support. Much appreciated. Jed and his excellent work he does with the winning post. Shark Rack, you know, it's a new thing to our game. I think it's a great thing. It keeps the game flowing. And finally, the shirts which we're wearing, our teams are wearing, the fans have been able to buy, and the players have been able to play in. Mint Productions for those, Mint Promotions for those shirts. Thanks very much. The last thing I have to say is we have a winner of a pool table which has been donated by Supreme Pool, which is very generous of them. Jason Owen can back this up. He was the man that did the draw, and the winner is William Riley from Cork in Ireland. Don't know if I'm going to get it over to him, but he's won it. So thanks very much. Thanks very much, everybody. I appreciate all your support this year. I hope you've enjoyed the viewing. Martin Peach as well, I always forget you keep saying the Black Sheep. Thanks, Martin, for your work. And also, the man I also forgot, Lee Grout, the main man that helps me. Sorry, Lee, but you are just as much a part of the team as anybody. So, have a safe journey home, everybody. For the people around the world, we will be back next year. I am in conversations with different sponsors. We'll try and make it bigger and better. Thanks very much.
So stick around for a few minutes, and we will have an interview with both players, with Darren and with Liam. As you can see from the pictures, Liam just getting a couple of photos done, and then we'll grab him.
Well, we're joined by both players in the final, from Liam Dunster and Darren Appleton. Where there has to be a winner, sadly there has to be a loser. Darren, your thoughts on the game?
I'm guessing speak on behalf of us both, really. I mean, I think at the start of the match I felt okay, and then from 6-4 I just sort of were fighting to stay focused, really. And I think we both made mistakes, but I made the crucial mistake, missing 2 8 balls. But Liam he missed something similar also. And that was the difference, really. And then he just had a bit more luck on the breaks the last 2 or 3 games compared to myself. I broke dry, and he managed to make a ball on the break, and he took his chance. And he's had a fantastic tournament, fantastic year, and he deserved to win the title.
Liam, talk us through that last frame. How are you feeling? I mean, it was a pretty... I mean, they landed pretty good. You didn't have to do too much work, but even then, the pressure, I mean, you just have to go back to rely on your muscle memory and your instincts and everything that you've practiced for.
Yeah,
this is the moment.
I was actually out of position quite a few times in that finish, but luckily there was another ball which could, like, basically could go another pattern from what I actually intended. But
were you feeling the pressure?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Bounces.
You win if you don't feel the pressure.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's more nerves than pressure.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good,
like,
sometimes
I think it was the second shot in the finish. Luckily it was a big bag, because I've hit it far too thick.
Yeah.
So just the little things like that obviously help.
I asked Darren before we started where this would rank on his list of achievements. I want to ask you the same thing. I mean, you come up short twice on this final, but now you've won the big one.
Yeah, I'd say that's number one.
Yeah.
Number one on the list. Yeah. The BI World's possibly been second.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is number one.
I mean, how did it feel to play one of the greats of the game? I mean, you've obviously seen Darren over the years. I mean, he's been around, what, 20 years or more. He's travelled the world, and he set standards that people have to get to.
Yeah, I mean, I've never actually seen him playing live before. I've only ever seen him on YouTube and on telly and stuff like that. So seeing him playing live is really good. Yeah.
To play something like Darren is obviously a privilege, and to have you in the series does. You know, we hope you're back next year.
It's been great. He's probably think I'm useless. No, I'm only joking. I mean, I've enjoyed it. Obviously, if someone said to me before the time I get to the final, I'd be happy. Obviously, I prepare for this one more than the others, and obviously you put the work in, you get the rewards. And I've had a good week. But Liam's the champion. Obviously, third time lucky for him. You've got to say he's been the most consistent player on the tour, really. So
yeah, there's Liam.
I think if there's a ranking, he's probably number one in the ranking.
Well, he's close as either you or Scott, I would say, in the rankings. You've had 2 finals. Scott's had 2 wins in a win. It's got to be close.
This is the biggest field ever in English pool. So it's bigger than winning a world championship. It's just not the same title now.
I think just a credit to Liam there is watching him play in that final. There's so many youngsters that could learn so much from you. I think you're an absolute credit to the game. Your professionalism, you never seem to get flustered. You have the same routine in everything you do, no matter how easy the shot is. And I think that's fantastic, and I think that gives you so much of your consistency.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's just all down to practice. I mean, people say I'm poker face and all that, but it's all part of the game, to be honest. You try not to give anything away to the opponent when you're frustrated with yourself and you're out of position and things like that. Everyone misses tap-ins, as they say, but it's about how you come back that really matters.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So, congratulations to both guys. It's been a great series, and we have said that we're going to be back. We will be back, and we'll try and make it bigger and better for everybody. So, for 2018, it's all over. 5 great events, 3 great champions. What more can you ask for? We'll try our best to make it better next year. So it's a good night from all of us.
It is. I'm exhausted. I need Christmas and a break, I think.
Yeah, and the final word goes to Liam. Congratulations, a great season, and to win the grand final, you must be made up.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it was. I thought it was going to go out the year not really winning any major titles, and then this comes along, so it really tops it off.
Good Christmas for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. Enjoy. Well, guys, we'll be back next year with the 2019 series. I personally can't wait for it, but as I say, I'm ready for a break. Enjoy your Christmas, have a great New Year, and we'll see you again in 2019.